everybody. Welcome to Surface Noise. My name is John. Welcome back, anyone who's been here before. For today's video, I'm going to do a collection video, and that is my Echo and the Bunnymen collection. If you're not familiar with them, they were probably more popular in the 80s, early 90s. They did continue recording. I believe the last thing album they had was 2014, so they did continue on, but that seemed to be the heyday of the band. Started out around 78, 79. Originally there was only the three members, Ian McCulloch, Les Pattinson, and Seargent, and they used a drum machine at the time. Before they recorded their first record, they had Pete De Freitas join them on drums. So anyway, that's a little intro. I'll get into the meat of it in just a second. All right, so starting at the beginning, which is a great place to start. This is pictures on my wall, 7-inch. I actually got this in my Songs to Learn and Sing UK press special edition that they put out. But from what I can tell, from what I've read, this is still one of the original pressings that they did, because they didn't reissue this until 91. So this is Pictures on My Wall, which was later re-recorded for their debut record, Crocodiles. The B-side is Read It in Books, which was co-written by Julian Cope, because apparently Julian Cope and Ian McCulloch were in a band together before. I guess they wrote this song together, and both bands recorded it. Read It in Books is also in Teardrop Explodes album, I believe, or B-side, I'm not sure. It shows up on both albums. Both bands have recorded it. The band, I believe, that Ian McCulloch was in with Cope ended up becoming the Teardrop Explodes, so it's kind of neat. So anyway, that's first thing, and this doesn't have Pete De Freitas on drums because this is before he joined. This is one of the few things before they had an actual drummer, so that's kind of interesting. Okay, next up that I have is the Rescue 12-inch single. So this was the first single, I believe, from Crocodiles. Oh, let's see the back, a little glare there. So yeah, this is on Corova. I think most of the early stuff was on Corova. So this is a UK press. Nice little funky label there. Rescue, backed with Simple Stuff and Pride. Simple Stuff, I believe, also appeared on Crocodiles. I'm not sure, if I'm not mistaken. I think it did. So this is the 12-inch single. That doesn't want to go back in the sleeve. Okay. All right, so unfortunately I don't have a vinyl copy of Crocodiles. I do have the CD somewhere, but I don't know where right now. So I'm going to move on to the next thing. So they toured Crocodiles, and they recorded it, a film and an EP. And this is Shine So Hard live. There's 4 tracks on this. This is Crocodiles, Zimbo, All That Jazz, Over the Wall. I've never seen the film. I don't know if it's easily accessible or not, but I did manage to get this. This is a UK press of this. And there is the album Crocodiles, in case you need to know what it looks like. All right, and nice big Echo and the Bunnymen letters. Yay! Recorded in 1981. There's a number of dates on this. All right, and once again, we got your Corova records right there. Alrighty. Okay. So we're moving on to the next album, which is Heaven Up Here, second record. Single off of this was The Promise. I would say this probably isn't as instantaneously catchy as the first album, but apparently it did do very, very well. You can see the label there. I've always loved the song Over the Wall, but the whole thing's really solid. Really solid record. But yeah, not a lot of singles off of it, but really great album. And this was 1981. So, but Crocodiles would have been 1980, I think. So let's have it up here. Another amazing record. Next up is another 12-inch single. This is The Back of Love. This was a single that was coming off of Porcupine. It was released before it, but right there. Kind of cool covers. Like that. Right there. And this has The Back of Love. And The Subject and Fuel are the other tracks on here. One interesting thing that I actually read, and if you look at the covers you'll notice, they never have a full band shot of the band until much later. I think it wasn't until their self-titled one came in around 88 or 87 before they actually, because even if you look at Heaven Up Here, they're just looking out at the ocean, right? So most of their the album covers anyway, actually some of their singles I think do have, that Rescue single has a picture of them. But next single I'm going to focus on here, The Cutter, big song for them. Right. This was a song that kind of brought me in. At first, I really couldn't get into Ian McCulloch's vocals, actually, and I went and listened to this a lot. This song seemed to be the one that got me in once I kind of came to terms with the way he was singing. So, this has The Cutter, Way Out and Up We Go, and Zimbo. I think Zimbo was the track from the Crocodiles, but I think it's always been a very big live track. So this was a live version, so that's probably why they featured it. We got our Corova records again. Next up, album number 3. This is Porcupine. Right there. So this one, and you can, again, you can see there's pictures of the band, but they're just kind of not really fully focused there. Looking at the snow. Apparently that was picture was taken in Iceland. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so this one features The Cutter as the first track. That was a big single off here. Back of Love is on here too, and I think those are the only 2 singles. But this is another great record. You know, yeah, I remember listening to this. It's like everything on it is really good. And oh, cool. Actually, that's really cool. The inner sleeve has got like, feels like just a normal, like blank. It would be a blank sleeve, but actually no. It's, you got the little, what does that say there? It says, "Pining for the pork of the porcupine." You can see that down there. And once again, you've got the label there, black. Most of them are, the early ones were white, it seemed, and then they went to a black color on those labels. But anyway, this was a big one for them. And next up was a non-album single. This is Never Stop. Really good song. Really good song. And this is this version is the longer one. I think the actual single is shorter than this, if I recall. This one has a bit of a preamble. It's instrumental before it gets into the big. That's why it's called Never Stop Discotheque. I guess it's supposed to be like a dance version. Then we got Heads Will Roll, which is also off Porcupine. This is called the summer version. The original Cutter, which is just another version of the Cutter. So these are all kind of alternate versions on this single. But as far as I know, this was just on this the 12-inch and the 45, and then you can get it on the Songs to Learn and Sing Greatest Hits. Couple of other things. So before we get into the next record, because we're finished, that's record 3, album 3. This was an interesting thing I picked up right here. It's a picture disc. And it's just an interview with Ian McCulloch back in '83. Kind of interesting. some of the things he's saying. I remember listening to this and he's talking kind of like very negative about all the synth pop bands, you know, kind of mocking them a bit. But he's always had a healthy ego, I guess. So next up is my 7-inch of The Killing Moon. And that's a very big song for them. One of their biggest ones. I remember when I was watching Donnie Darko and it popped up, I was thinking, yeah, I think I'm going to like this movie. There's some good music in that film. There you go. B-side for this is Do It Clean, which is, of course, from their first record. So I guess I just decided to do another, release it again. I've also got a 12-inch single version. Keep in mind, back in the 80s, I was a big collector of Echo, so I have a lot. And this has 2 versions of The Killing Moon, all-night version, so an extended one, and then Do It Clean live. This one is from Royal Albert Hall. Pretty interesting, and it doesn't come out too easily. It's pretty much the same label. All the labels look pretty much the same. So, right. There we are. Next up, another single, 12-inch single. This is 7 Seas. This is almost like an EP though. This features the song 7 Seas, a live version of All You Need Is Love, the Beatles tune. Then they do The Killing Moon, Stars Are Stars, and Villiers Terrace. So, I mean, Stars and Stars and Villiers Terrace are tracks off of Crocodiles. Killing Moon is, of course, a big song off of this album. Oh, and I like the fish on the back. Yeah, is this what, a carp playing guitar or something like that? I'm not sure. Very interesting cover art, that's for sure. And then we have the label there. Is there an inner sleeve on this too? Yeah. Okay. So that's 7 Seas. So having shown off the early singles, we'll go right to the album they came from, and that is Ocean Rain. Very, very good record. I think this would be a good record if someone wanted to get into the band. I think it's an easy entry, to be honest, to get into them. It's very melodic, some creative stuff, some a little experimental at times, but you know, especially with those 3 main singles, Killing Moon, 7 Seas, and Silver, you know, are very. Ocean Rain's a great track too. It's a good closing track, very slow and melodic. Here we got the label again. So this, again, Ocean Rain, album 4, which apparently at one point Ian McCulloch declared the greatest album of all time. Who knows? So this is the 3rd single, Silver. This features Angels and Devils as the B-side. Again, a nice solid looking black Corova label. And that's that. Next up, we go with the stuff that came before, just along with the release of the Songs to Learn and Sing compilation. So this is Bring on the Dancing Horses, the only new song that came out along with that album. This was also featured, I believe, in the Pretty in Pink movie and soundtrack. So, and that was a pretty solid soundtrack too. I remember they had the Smiths, it had OMD, had the big song on that too, but it had a lot of pretty cool bands. Very, you know, cool sort of indie bands from the UK mostly at the time. So that's my 7-inch with that. I also have the 12-inch single right here. So this is an extended version. So the 7-inch had Over Your Shoulder as the B-side. This one also has Bedbugs and Ballyhoo, and that will come up again later because they actually redid that song. It was a B-side here, it became a main single later. So we'll get into that after though. So this is it. This is actually the first record I bought of Echo and the Bunnymen. I'd heard them through friends, but this was the big one, and this was like a special edition one, like I mentioned before. I got the 7-inch single of Pictures on My Wall in this, and I guess this is the lyric sheet. This is, yeah. So this is a nice little package here. You got your lyric sheet. This is still pretty good condition for how long I've had it. UK press, all the lyrics. This has, so aside from the fact that it had the new song, the Bring on the Dancing Horses, also The Puppet was a song that was just released as a single. I don't have that single, but I certainly would like to pick it up. Do It Clean wasn't a single, but it was such a big song, I guess they included it as one of their best ofs. Never Stop, of course, was a standalone single as well. So it does have a few things that were not on albums, but so that's pretty cool. Okay, next up, 12-inch single of, this is from the Lost Boys. They did a cover of People Are Strange, the Doors song, and this is the single version they put out. This one's backed with some radio session where they do Paint It Black, Run, 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 and Friction, which are all covers. Paint It Black, Stones. Run, 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 I believe, is Velvet Underground. Friction, maybe I should say who it is here. Tom Verlaine. Okay, Friction is Tom Verlaine. So these are some kind of interesting covers. I guess it could be television, maybe? I don't know. I'm not an expert on that stuff, but obviously 3 bands they were big fans of that they wanted to cover. So anyway, this is the People Are Strange cover version. They've been known to do a lot of Doors covers. I know the first time I saw them live, they did Soul Kitchen, and I have heard some live versions that they've released of that. I think there's a number of songs they've done of the Doors. I think that Ian McCulloch was inspired by Jim Morrison, from what I can tell. And you can, when you hear him do Doors songs, you can really hear it, actually. It's very interesting. So the next album was self-titled. I don't have it, but I do have some of the singles from it. So this is The Game. I think that was the first single. This is just a domestic copy, I think. So this is The Game, backed with Lost and Found and Ship of Fools, which I seem to think I've got before. So this, I kind of like this. So this is different. Got that run there, and on the back it's got the list of the songs. That's kind of neat. Right here, finally, this right here is Bedbugs and Ballyhoo, which I mentioned before was a B-side on Bring on the Dancing Horses 12-inch. Well, they re-recorded it and used it as a single on their self-titled album. And this is actually a promo, which has the LP version and a 6-minute remix as well. So this is kind of cool. The big song actually from that album, I think, would be considered Lips Like Sugar, which I don't have. But I'd like to get the record. I still think it was decent. I don't know if it's up to the same level as maybe the records that came out before Songs to Learn to Sing, but still pretty good. And I've liked some of the stuff they put out later, because they continued into the 90s. Briefly had a different singer. That didn't work out. Ian McCulloch came back. They did, I think, 3 or 4 more records after that. So unfortunately in '89 Pete De Freitas died. That was just about the time that they were going to go and record with the new singer, so that kind of threw everything for a loop. Ian McCulloch had left the band, I think, in '88. And apparently around the same time Ian McCulloch's father passed away, so that would be a pretty rough time, I would think. One bonus here that I will show off, not officially an Echo and the Bunnymen record, but it is a Ian McCulloch solo single that I have. I think I might even have September song on 45, but anyway. I'm not going to look for it right now, but I think I do have it. So this is Proud to Fall. This is great. It sounds like Echo, let's be honest. It's a remix, or it's an extended version. This one is about 7 minutes long. And then it's got some B-sides, Pot of Gold, and The Dead End. And what does it say here? Yeah, these were written strictly by Ian. So, yeah, he wrote all the songs by himself, so at least these ones. That was from his solo record. I don't know how many he put out. He may put a couple out, but this was a good tune. I believe the September song single came out after Songs to Learn and Sing or something. I don't think they thought of that as of him going solo, but within a year or so, I think he did, at least for a while. So anyway, that is this collection. That's everything I have of their stuff. This is a band that has been part of my life for like 30 years. I always come back to them and listen to them, so I was very happy that I got to see them on 2 separate occasions. One, Songs to Learn and Sing tour, and then when they toured for the, I think it was the self-titled one, I think I also saw that show. The first time, I believe it was the Church that opened up for them, the second time Screaming Blue Messiahs. So some good shows. So anyway, that's it. That's the collection. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like and subscribe, and that does help grow this channel. And I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll see you all next time.